tuning into WOCA The Source, with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Wednesday. Joe.
It's hump day.
That was kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, well, I could have started high and went low, you know.
Joe Martone here, fresh from the Ocala Business Leader meeting.
Whoa, what a meeting. We had a good meeting. You've heard of John Mellon with A-Bet?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was there this morning.
He was on the radio with us Monday with a bait.
Yeah, and he was talking about his event coming up. I don't remember the dates. Next weekend at the fort near where you're next.
Fort McCoy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's out in Fort McCoy.
Thank you. At the Veterans Village.
Yep.
They're having a event there, not a motorcycle run.
No, it's an event there, and if you bring it's $15 for adults plus a canned good.
Yeah.
And all the food they collect is going to Vets Helping Vets food pantry.
There you go. So yeah, it's a good one. They had it for the week before or something, but there we go. They had it for the week before, but anyway, long story. Yeah, that's the one they were giving out. Long story much shorter.
Freedom Day or something, I think
Right.
it's called.
But Leesburg is having the bike week. Is it next week? Or a week after? Well,
I'm not a bike guy, so you know.
Yeah, well, you have to look it up. I don't know. But so they had to move things around rather than have a bike thing. They have an event there. Of course, this Sunday we're going to Toys for Tots, and it's going to start at where's starting, Tom? Toys for Tots.
It's going to start at O'Callahan's, the poker run.
O'Callahan's, and then
there is a poker run.
Charlie's.
Ends up at Charlie Horse.
Yeah.
That's the Punishers Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club will be leading that run. This is the second annual Toys for Tots, sponsored by Charlie Horse, the Punishers Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, just shipped, and of course,
What?
the good folks at WOCA Radio.
Nobody had to bring a $10 bill to go on a poker run, I presume, or something like that.
Something along those lines. Go to you go to their to the Facebook page.
Oh, Facebook page, okay.
Or the website, either one.
Yeah.
And you can find out more information about the poker run, where the stops are, and everything like that. It is Toys for Tots. So if you come to the event at Charlie Horse, please bring a new, unopened, unwrapped toy to put in the bin to make a child's holiday
There you go.
so much better. Because you don't think that one toy can make the difference, but it can to a child that wasn't expecting anything.
That's it. And now we got 2 events happening on November 20th. I just see this one here, Hot Cars and Cool Cats.
Yeah, that's Matt Gibbs told us about that. You know where that is, right there off 326.
Off 326.
It's on 326. The
Burns, ZZ.
Right. Yeah, it's right there on 326.
And
Right across from the nursery, just after you cross over Old Jacksonville Road if you're coming from
They're holding
441.
Were they holding it at then?
Yeah, right there on 326.
What is the facility? What is? Is it cats? No.
No, it's just I don't know. It's somebody. It's a piece of land there. They have this car show.
Oh, okay. All right.
Literally directly across. The entrance is directly across from the nursery on 326.
Okay.
Just after you cross.
441?
No, just after you cross Old Jacksonville Road. If you're coming from 441.
Ah, okay.
If you're coming from.
There'll be signs, I presume.
Yeah. If you're coming from 40.
Yeah.
Out Silver Springs area, and you're coming up 326 that way, heading up 326 east. West, excuse me. If you're traveling west on 326, it'll be across from the nursery just before you get to Old Jacksonville Road.
Oh,
if you're coming east from 441, it'll be just after you cross over Old Jacksonville Road.
I'm totally confused. I know. Well, then you got that one there. Then also on the 20th is the VFW, Americamp Road, just past Lockheed Martin.
That's for the Justice League.
That's for VFW.
Right, but the Justice League is part of it. They're bringing out some of the Dukes from the Dukes of Hazzard. They're bringing professional wrestlers out there. It'll be an all-day event out there as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be – and both of those are preceded by November 19th, Vets Helping Vets annual fundraising gala.
That's it, man. That's
where you'll see
we
Joe.
need more people.
Where you'll see Joe spiffed up and
semi-spiffed up.
And maybe dancing.
It depends how far I get in liquefied, yeah.
Well, because you got 2 left feet, let's be honest.
Well, I can go in a circle.
I don't even have 2 left feet.
I can do circle. That's called a polka.
I
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I see. I did not realize it had a name. I thought it was the hokey pokey.
Oh no, that's left foot out, left foot in. Yeah.
I thought that
I'm
was
just
the only,
left out.
I thought the only dancing you knew how to do was you had to be instructed.
No, the only dancing I do is in the dark, so there's no witnesses.
That is a Bruce Springsteen song.
Yeah, that's right.
Dancing in the dark. So, but a lot going on in November.
Well,
Right before Thanksgiving.
Well, what happened? Motorcycle weather.
Right.
And
that is it exactly.
Everybody's out there. I mean, I don't mind motorcycles. Sorry, guys, if you drive a crotch rocket, do it on the highway. Don't do it on pedestrian side roads where people and the kids are playing. We don't need you doing it 45, 50 miles an hour with that.
I saw a guy this morning as I was coming into work before I realized I didn't have my keys.
I'm not even going there.
I saw a guy. He was on the interstate with me, and he got off the interstate right there at 40 where I get off the interstate. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting at the light. Well, he pulls almost side by side with me. It's a one-lane light there. We're going right. Yeah, he's right almost at my door, and I roll the window down, and I look at him, and I go, "Excuse me?" He puts his visor up and goes, "Some words that you can't say on the radio."
Does it start with F?
Something along those lines.
Or MF?
Something along those lines.
Okay.
And then the light turns green, and he punches it, zips out, almost rear ends an 18-wheeler truck in the back.
Oh!
I thought, karma almost cost you your life.
Yeah.
Because you're a moron.
I like it when they sit there, they pull the clutch in, and they go, and the engine's going to the red.
Spiking.
Yeah. And he's not moving or anything. Said, okay.
Let's try to blow up our motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes no sense.
They get fast off the run, and they're going like hell.
By the way,
to nowhere.
By the way, they're still allowed to come on the poker runs if they would like to. All motorcycles are invited.
All
to come
motorcycles just have to drive a little responsible.
Well, and most poker runs run what, between 35, 45 miles an hour?
Yeah, about that.
Nobody's getting crazy.
You don't need to.
You're not getting on the interstate for the poker run.
I have on some of them, but
that's probably up in Connecticut. I mean,
North Carolina.
They do weird things.
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina.
Oh, we got that big. It's a Santa run, I should say, but it's a big. We're talking.
Yeah, but y'all block exits and all.
Oh, yeah, we're talking 400 bikes at least. Yeah, right. That's a big deal.
By the way, speaking of big deals, there'll be a Toys for Tots gathering as well this Friday, if weather permitting, at the First Friday Art Walk.
Oh, yeah.
I will get in trouble if I don't mention this.
That's okay. That's fine.
Because Just Shipped is sponsoring this to collect toys that will then be given at the Charlie Horse event.
YouTube, you got it? You understand what he just said? Okay, we're on YouTube, right?
Right.
Okay,
and it'll be just out in front of Big Hammock where artists will be set up and everything on the sidewalk.
It doesn't look good.
Right.
On my phone, I almost said my camera. What the heck? On my phone there, it says Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I think it's Friday they showed 2 clouds with rain coming down. So it's like 90%.
Yeah,
we're gonna get wet there. Yeah.
Hey,
out there! Look at him out there.
Now,
he can actually see me. Look at
we have quite a bit of time in between, so it could be you could be dancing in between rain clouds. You never know.
On Friday?
With how Florida is, you could dance in between rain clouds.
Sure. Yeah. And the whole thing is, when it rains in Florida, usually 90% of the time, it's not cold rain; it's warm rain. Now this.
It's going to be cold rain because the cold front's coming through.
45 in the morning. Woo-hoo-hoo.
45 degrees. Tomorrow morning?
You got it in front of me. I can open it. Oh,
no, I don't have it in front of me because my phone's not. Okay, here we go.
Nice hawk just went by us here.
Here we go. So I'm looking at Tom Sorrell's News 6.
Okay,
He's got Friday, cloudy with periods of rain, potential for heavy rainfall.
Yep.
High 67, chance of rain, 80% rainfall around half to 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah, now I've got Saturday rain.
I got Saturday 60%.
Yeah, 66 high, 48 low. Sunday is the day. 46 in the morning, 72 high.
That's what I got.
So we're going to get the heavy jacket on.
Right, but Thursday it's 78, 60 with a slight chance of rain.
15%.
And then Friday and Saturday, it looks like there's a big chance of rain.
59%. Yeah.
And
so
then
you're
it clears
gonna
up on Sunday.
Yeah. So that'd be a good day for the poker. We have 5% at all.
The Toys for Tots drive, toy drive, unopened new gift. You can drop those off at Big Hammock Brewery to Susan with Just Ship because she'll be out there on Friday collecting toys.
If it's not raining.
If it's not raining, then Sunday at Charlie Horse there'll be live bands and everything all day. By the way, so if you're not going on the poker run, you can still come to Charlie Horse early because there's going to be, I think they have 8 different bands scheduled to play.
Well, I intend to be there most of the day.
8 different bands scheduled to play that day. There'll be, 50-50 drawings, stuff like that. There'll be a lot of things to do. Cornhole tournament.
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah, you like that game, don't you?
I like how it comes second to bocce.
Yeah, it's.
If I get into, as they say, if you get into the zone, plop, 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 plop.
So,
but I like bocce better. But anyway,
a lot to do Sunday at Charlie Horse. The second annual Toys for Tot Drive, brought to you by Charlie Horse, the Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, Punishers Motorcycle Club, Just Shipped, and of course the good folks here at WOCA.
Now there's parking.
Radio.
You got parking over there, so that's good.
Oh, got lots of parking.
I was going to bring my trailer with me. I said,
The little treasure chest trailer.
With the big treasure chest trailer, it's big.
Is it, I haven't seen it yet.
No, physically haven't seen it. I've shown pictures.
Right, I physically have not seen.
It's big. It's big. You can fit in it. Alive.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it is big.
Hey, when are you going to put a sidecar on that trike?
Never. It's a trike. You don't put a sidecar on a trike.
Come on, let's try.
You put it on a two-wheeler.
Let's try it. Let's try it on a trike.
No. What you do on a trike is instead of a...
Well, you don't hit the microphone violently.
You know that, Italian. With a trike, you just put a trailer behind without a top on it. There you go.
I saw...
It's called a wagon.
I was watching Pawn Stars.
Pronounce it correctly, yes.
I said Pawn Stars.
I said that.
And there was a guy who had a custom trike.
Custom trike?
And the frame, it was about as long as a car.
Yeah.
And he had a 350 motor on it. And he 2-seater and everything, and he, had big slicks on the back of it and everything. Yeah. He said he had $100,000 in this truck.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Custom built. And he wanted $50,000 for it. So they bring Danny in, to count that does the cars and everything. Yeah. Danny goes, he's looking at the motor, aluminum, blah, blah, blah. He's looking at everything. And he goes, so Rick goes, how much is it worth, Daddy? Yeah. Danny goes, the man says he's got $100,000 in it. What I'm looking at here is
35,
15, 16,000.
Oh, forget it. No way.
And the guy goes, no. Danny goes, aluminum. And Danny starts naming off the prices.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, yeah. And he goes, well, how do you got 100,000 in this? He goes, well, I have my time and effort. He goes, no, you don't get to add that in.
Yeah, no. Time and effort don't get that. But
although if you built it at a shop, they would charge you shop time and all.
Of course.
If you're doing it in your garage, you don't get to put that in on the price of it. So here this guy wanted 100,000, wanted 50,000 for what he said he had 100,000 in, but it wasn't worth but about 16,000.
Well, I just any trike is worth more than $15,000 if it's in running shape.
According to the parts he'd used,
right.
Because it was custom. This was not a motor. There was nothing motorcycle about this trike.
Oh, okay.
It looked like it had 2 wheels in the back, 1 wheel up front, forks, but then literally the steering wheel, the forks and all, and the steering wheel was like 15 foot long. Because the motor was a car motor.
In the back?
No, in the front.
Oh, it was in the front. Okay.
It was in the front where a normal motorcycle motor would go, but it was a big square frame because it had to fit this car motor in it. By the way, with a Cummins blower on top of it.
Oh, well, of course, yeah.
And it had 4 pipes, 2 pipes on each side coming out of the motor, out of the manifold and everything. He literally was running a car motor on a frame that he custom built to make it like a trike.
If I ever get my photos in order, I will bring you some shots from Americade. Americade is about a 77,000 bike rally in Lake George, New York, once a year in June, July, and a lot of customs, like you said.
Right.
Well, there's one trike was a trike in the front. Back end was a Volkswagen. You could sit 2 people side by side.
Right.
One was a Star Wars, made it look like Star Wars.
Yeah,
trike.
this is this big event that I remember watching an episode of Orange County Choppers where they went to this event and unveiled a bike there.
Yeah, they went to Daytona. I seen them in Daytona.
No, they did the one in upstate New York.
Oh, did
too.
they do that
Yeah,
one?
Yeah.
There was one
And
there.
there was like 90,000 people there.
Oh yeah, but it's all organized. I mean, it's no roughnecks, no nothing.
Right, they rolled this bike out. They'd done it for a spot in partnership with somebody. I forget who it was.
Yeah.
They rolled the bike out and they auctioned it off for charity and
Yeah, they do.
end up getting like
Are they still in business?
$66,000. I have no idea. You know, when Little Paul and Big Paul had to falling out, who knows?
Yeah, that was
The Tuttle family.
the Tuttle. Yeah, remember the Tuttle?
You know
But there was one trike, Tom, that was you could not take your eyes off it. It was as bright yellow as you can get yellow, and it was made like a taxi cab, but it was a trike.
Hey, I want to switch gears for a minute. See how I did that? Switch gears. Are you you don't live in the city, you live in the county.
Correct, Edmundo.
Are you paying any attention as a person that lives in the county, not in the city, to this runoff election that's about to happen in Ocala?
Well, of course, because we have the business in Ocala.
So you are paying attention.
Yeah, we can't vote. We don't. That's a weird thing. You own a business, but you can't vote. But the business is in this. We're sitting in the city limits right here.
Right.
Okay. Our tower is in the city limits, but we can't vote.
Yeah, because you don't live in the city. They got it. They got to figure it. They got to do it somehow, and the best way to do it is through residency. I understand
but
people
wait a minute.
don't like it.
We got a bathroom here. We got a microwave.
You don't live here.
Well, sometimes I feel like I do.
The reason I bring this up is I got this sent to me by someone who was at a Kiwanis Club meeting this week.
Okay.
And one of the candidates, Ty Schlichter, was at the Kiwanis Club meeting.
Okay.
And now Ty Schlichter has a lot of backing from big businesses associated with the CEP.
Okay.
It's known. You can go look at public records and see who is some of his donors.
Okay.
And yet he threw the CEP under the bus this week at a Kiwanis Club meeting. And I want to get your take on it because I know that you understand small business.
Oh, yeah.
He said the Magna 489 project, which is where FedEx and all that is and everything, the 484 project where all the warehousing is built out there, was a tremendous waste of taxpayer money because they didn't use local contractors. They did use local subcontractors, but they didn't use local general contractors. So it was a big waste of taxpayers' money that these projects were ever undertaken in the first place.
It depends how you look at that. If it's a corporation, they can come in with their contractors that build for them, like a restaurant. Excuse me.
Yeah, FedEx had to have this built the way FedEx needed it built.
Well, no, anybody can do it. Anybody can build to the specs. If you're a licensed contractor, you know what to do. You look at the specs, blueprint, boom, you do it.
Yeah.
However, I've known people that all his job was to build gas stations. That's all he did. All over the United States. He went with his crew and built it for this.
And he knew how to do it with his eyes closed, basically.
Right. This was their brand. They would come in, boom, 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 and they knew exactly.
Right.
The only one that went ahead of him was the permit people, to pull all the permits.
But now these groups did not they used local subcontractors. So there was a lot of work that was thrown towards local people.
To a point.
But for a candidate to say it was a waste of taxpayer money,
I don't know how
when you bring in FedEx, you bring in AutoZone, you bring in Chewy, you bring in Amazon.
Who brought all those in?
The CEP.
Did they?
To help through
help
do
it.
Right.
That's right.
But they brought in the Dollar Tree distribution, Costco. Little known fact: the Kmart distribution thing, the company that owns Costco. Okay, all these were brought in with help from the CEP, who most of the backers of this candidate are members and created the CEP, or maybe even created the CEP.
I don't know.
And here he is. And by the way, when all these things were approved, these waste of taxpayers' money, were, all these projects were 10, 12, 15 years ago approved. This candidate back then, 10, 12, 15 years ago, was getting in bar fights, throwing drinks at women behind the bar and biting bouncers. How about that being a waste of taxpayers' money? You're not going
I
to
don't
jail
know
for that.
any of that. All I know is that land, who that land belonged to.
Well,
Is it Marion County's land or is it
did they
private
buy it
land?
from somebody? No.
Who owns it now?
It's owned by I think
It's leased to them,
yes,
correct?
Yes, I believe the county owns it.
I don't know.
We'd have to look into that,
you
but
have
I
to look
believe the county owns it.
So the taxpayer own it then?
Yeah, I believe we own it. I believe.
So
I'd have to do some research to make
If
sure
we
that
own it, we're collecting money off of it.
yes, I know. Yeah, if it's owned by the taxpayers, we're collecting money off of it. If it's not owned by the taxpayers and somebody else is collecting money off of it, but then they're here, they're still paying taxes, so you're still making that money.
Right.
So, but for progress to be labeled as a waste of taxpayer money, when it's things such as the development of projects that bring in, you can't put a price tag on how the importance of having the brands of Amazon. When you drive down the interstate now, people go, Amazon's here in Ocala.
Yeah, sure.
FedEx is here in Ocala. AutoZone's here in Ocala.
But I would like to see somebody give me some answers coming in the studio, if you know them, if you are a delegate or whatever. How does it affect our tax base? In other words, our taxes should not go up if we're getting more of these tax money in.
They don't.
Unless they got a deferral for 5 years.
Millage rates haven't increased in a very long time.
Haven't.
No, they have not increased. Taxes have not increased in a very long time. Now
they have, right?
No, they haven't.
They haven't.
No.
Your taxes didn't go up in your house?
Because the value of your house went up.
Everything goes up.
The millage rate stayed exactly the same.
Oh.
You're being taxed at the same amount you were being taxed last year, the year before that, the year before that. It's the value of your home went up, so you're paying more.
So how does that happen?
How's your property value go up?
Yeah.
But through people selling in your neighborhood, comps and everything.
So supply and demand.
Of course. But
And
the value,
let me finish. Supply and demand.
Right.
So the demand has gotten greater
Certainly.
because these big companies come in, because more people are coming into here to work at these big companies.
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily?
No, because a lot of the people that come work at these companies come from out of the county, because we're a hub. As you know, Levy, Citrus, Levy, Marion.
Oh, okay.
They come from the surrounding areas that are still very close, but not in Marion County. So we get their them coming into work too. So not everybody is there because of the big companies and everything.
Okay.
From our area.
But a majority, you think, are?
Of course they are.
There you go.
But there's 100 people, regardless of what
people a week
regardless of what the industry is.
moving
There's
in.
150 people a week that move here
For some reason or another.
for some reason or another. And before in 2008, when we're going to be up against the break. When we come back, I'll explain it, because in 2008 we were not very diverse,
No kidding.
and it cost us.
Cost everybody.
And this candidate doesn't seem to like diversity. And I'll tell you why I think that is.
Okay.
After we come back from break. This is Ocala Talks. Tom Schmitz in studio. Joe Martone sitting in as well, straight from his Ocala business leaders meeting that he had this morning. This is WOCA, The Source. We're coming to you from just off the runway. Beautiful morning, by the way, this morning.
There's a jet right in front of you.
There is a jet right in front of me, taxiing in as we speak. This morning while I was locked this morning while I was locked outside, I saw 12, 15 planes take off before 8 o'clock.
I don't want to hear about it.
Really, really, really cool place that we have the radio station.
Yeah, I tuned in at 5:03. Yeah.
Just 5:03.
I mean 8:03. Yeah.
Yeah, just off the runway at the Ocala International Airport. We'll be right back after this short timeout.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.